Hi everyone! If you made it this way, this is your first video of this composing channel that I just thought would be a really fun idea to take a look on. Basically, what you're looking at right now is "Hymn to Christ the Light" by a man called Zebulon Hyben. He is a church musician that has given me permission to rearrange this work for brass quintet. What I really want to do is start a video series and sort of build a community around these videos, and then once these videos are made and all done, we can begin to work together as a community and write our own pieces. I want to, with everyone involved, make music across the world. I think that's a little bit of a lofty goal, but at the end of the day, this is also just a fun way for me to write music and arrange stuff. I thought we'd start with this arrangement of "Hymn to Christ the Light." Let us listen to it now. Of course, the MIDI rendering is sort of bad in this recording, but this is for demonstratory purposes. I will include in the description of this video a recording that was professionally done for the sale of this piece in the video's description. It is available as a SATB acapella octavo from the St. Olaf Choral Series on Augsburg Fortress's website. I'll also provide all of that information in the description of the video. Now, let's move over to to the part of this where I really wanted to sort of get everyone together on the same page, is arranging this. When I heard this piece for the first time, I thought it was a beautiful choral piece, and then I started experimenting with different styles and colors and what I want with my music, and one of the things that I really particularly like is the art of arranging. One of my favorite composers and arrangers is Ravel, and I've studied him a lot for my senior work here at my university and a lot of the stuff that he's worked on. And I think he's a great place to start with the idea of arranging music like this. I like to listen to all these pieces as they are and then sort of put them in their own context. You'll see that I've arranged them here as if they are band score, and by here I mean in the SATB Voices a cappella score. That is Hymn to Christ the Light vocal. And I've also opened this Hymn to Christ the Light for brass quintet over here. I listen to the vocal version and go like, okay, this sort of sounds best like a trumpet voice or horn voice. So I'm going to put this first section in trumpet 1. Let's listen to this. Great first place. Let's move that back over to its adjusted thing. Let's now continue on with this second part. I think it sounds best in trumpet voices, so we'll give that a try. As you see here, I'm just copying and pasting music into place. Oh. See, now this is something that I did not anticipate with it, and it is a low note on trumpet. Oh, that's because it's in the wrong octave. I am an idiot, in case you didn't know. Oh, that's a simple fix. Just transpose up diatonically an octave. And then it'll sound actually right. Amazing when you're not an idiot with technology. Just beautiful music. Absolutely astoundingly written. Then we add this tenor voice from here, which I'll just add this short little measure right here. And that looks fine, if albeit a little boring for the tenor notes, for the horn there. We will get all of these measures in place. Finale is a fantastic tool for writing and arranging music. However, it is quite expensive. I am lucky enough to have gotten it with a student edition. But if you wish to write music on your own, please feel free to use this other program called MuseScore. It's very similar, very easy to use, and free. Let's listen to this from this program on, though. Excellent. Now comes the issue, or rather, let's clean this up a little bit. Of when to throw in the tuba. A little bit of additional background on me. I am a tubist by trade. And I think putting in the tuba notes down here in octaves won't work, but we'll try it. Because, you know, we try stuff here. And that's an octave A down. Oh, it could be this too. That would make sense. And then we'll just drop this down to this D here. Ooh. Let's get that in with the proper dynamic expression. So that it is not out of balance in your recording. Let's give this a listen. Alright, this is a little brash for me. I like the D flat here, but that's just because it aids in filling out this chord. Gives it a nice solid low footing. This sounds brash and unneeded, so let's try deleting it. And that can be a nice little subtle addition. We can also try something like this. Where we add it in here. Add in our dynamic marking. And try it here. Perhaps we'll need to rebalance this one because it is a low voice, and low voices always stick out along with high voices because they are on the extremes. The extremes always stick out. The inner voices always have to push a little bit more or add a little bit more dynamically to rebalance the entire section out. Let us look now at what we can do. We will just change this dynamic marking from mezzo forte to mezzo piano in the hopes that it doesn't overpower everyone else. That's a little bit more in line with what I was thinking with the line. We'll try that for now. One thing that I want to do eventually is perhaps in this section have just the horn line be solo. Da 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 da. I'm not supposed to be a good singer. I'm supposed to be a good musician. Have just this line solo, and these other two lines with a sort of shimmery clustery chord effect. That's a direction you can take this piece. I don't know if I want to take it that direction yet. Let me know down in the comments below if you think I should take a direction that's more in line of, well, we will just play around with it right now, actually. So if we pretended that these... I'm thinking right now of what two notes I would want to choose here. We'll let that be for now. We'll visit that in another episode. Alright, let us get through this main big chorus part. I personally think this is a little easy to arrange. Again. We'll just copy and paste those parts right there. Add in our appropriate slurs. Which, as you'll notice, as the original engraver of this music has done, has arranged it so that they fit really well with the breath marks that you have in place. Now here, I think it is most interesting to have the bass voice double this all the way down the octave. We've already started a little bit of a doubling theme here. It only makes sense to lead over into that as we need it. Give it the appropriate dynamic contrast again. You don't have to edit as you go along like I do. I'm just doing it here for the sake of just getting it done and out of the way. Ooh, I really like that. I really like that. And here we'll have to do a little bit of so you already made my first mistake. Well, out of the many that I've made, this measure changes into 4/4. So we just right click on it, good old time signature, 4/4, and we'll change this back to 3/4. And then this line will need to be closer to the actual bass line, I think. Octave up, yep. But we'll change this to reflect more of the, well, we might change it because I like the idea of having this powerful line here. And then here we'll just have to also, we'll shift this an octave up. We'll change this. Back to our good old speedy entry tool. We will change this to the up an octave A. And then we could also repitch this chord to have this G in here. I'll show it to you how it's supposed to be first. And then if we repitch it and add this G, it'll just add a different color to this entire chord, to this cluster here. It won't make it a full chord. It'll just add a different aspect of color that we don't need in the 4 voices, but since we're adding it, essentially adding another voice here, a little bit of extra color could be useful. I'm not quite yet certain how I like that. I will mull over how I like that as I fill that out. Let me know what you feel about that section. If it should be more, well, we can do one more thing with it. We can repitch. We can repitch this to be down an octave from here and reinforce the tenor line, since the tenor line is the melody. So it'll be good old F and G. And then we'll repitch this back to its original line. Let's listen. Now that turns this into a mid voice that needs help when it shouldn't need help. And earlier we talked about how mid voices need to make themselves known or a little bit more present, and arrangers can help that vastly by how they arrange their notes. And because this is a higher voice, it doesn't need that help, and it turns the melody line overbearing. So then we will just replace it with that. I like that the most, I think. Last check, we'll have the repitch here. I don't like that as much. I don't like that guidance. We could also leave it as F. Ah, no, that's bad. F and E flat. And this far apart, and this voicing was never destined to be really good. I think that's where we'll leave it for today. Thank you all for joining me on this compositional and arranging video series, video exploration. Thank you all. Keep writing, keep making music, and I'll see you next time.